All right, everybody, welcome to the press panel for the 11th annual Nogales Bicycle Classic, put on by Circles of Peace. Everybody's good? Everybody's ready? Yes, everybody's ready for tomorrow? Yeah, all right. This is also the second time that USA Cycling will be doing their Arizona State Championships in conjunction with Nogales Bicycle Classic, which is very, very awesome. And we're very excited about that as well. So let's welcome all of our panel members and give them a round of applause once again. So this event has also become internationally recognized as the Joe Sunburns His Face Day because I always forget sunscreen. So everybody can look forward to that tomorrow. Also, it is one of the few times that I'm not in public in shorts. Now, this is a safety hazard, I know, for a lot of the riders, especially when the sun starts coming up and reflecting off the white lakes. But it's gives them an opportunity to tend to. So welcome, guys. Let's get right into it. Let's start with Melissa Gallegos, who's representative of Tres. Give the microphone. Okay. Melissa, ¿cómo estás?
Muy contentos de que se llegó por fin.
Mic check.
Bueno,
There it is. There we go.
Okay.
Ahora sí. Okay. Si lo quieres repetir.
ok, perfecto. Pues muchísimas gracias. Nosotros estamos encantados de que por fin se llegó la carrera de Nogales Bicycle Classic, que todos los ciclistas en la comunidad del Condado de Santa Cruz esperamos ansiosos, así que estamos felices de disfrutar el día de mañana.
Muy bien, muy bien. Ya, pues, por todos los 11 años, 03 ha sido uno de los equipos más grandes, más, pues, locales más grandes, ¿verdad?
Sí, recuerdo un poquito de cómo inició Nogales Bicycle Classic. Yo inicié con una y recuerdo que fue para nosotros como algo de bicicleta, pero cada año lo esperábamos y lo esperábamos. Entonces, en estos largos 11 años, nosotros estamos felices de cada año aportar, cada año invitar a más ciclistas a que disfruten esta carrera, porque en verdad los paisajes, el ambiente, la comunidad, la seguridad, todo está muy, muy bien hecho. Entonces, nosotros seguimos motivando a ciclistas y motivando a la comunidad para que se vengan este día a disfrutarlo. Así
Okay.
que,
Muy bien. So a lot of things that Melissa just mentioned about the security and things of this, that make this event so not just safe, but fun, is one of the things that attracted USA Cycling to participate in this. And we've got Joey from USA Cycling here again, like last year. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so well, let's talk about what attracted USA Cycling, what attracted you guys to look at this event and consider making this the state championships.
Yeah, so the Arizona Bicycle Racing Association, that's the local arm of USA Cycling here in the state. And so we're always looking to try to grow and expand. We're offering events. A lot of the events end up being in Tucson and Phoenix. And so we've always had an eye on trying to get more events in southern Arizona. And so we knew about the Nogales Bike Classic, and we just had an opportunity when our last state championship was no longer wanted to put in a bid to host it. So I reached out and just wanted to see if we could start a partnership in hosting the event last year, and it worked out really well. It's a really well organized event. The community's super excited about it, and it's really nice to be hosting a race and having a community that wants you to come into the town, and that makes things much easier to put it on. And it's something that the racers really feel and appreciate, and so it makes it a really passionate and fun event.
Awesome. So I know there was some great feedback from racers last year that this was a fun event. It was a great ride. I mean, did you have any comments that you'd heard or that you could repeat, make us feel really good about ourselves?
Yeah, I mean the racers loved the courses were super challenging, but not overly challenging. So it provided a really deserving champion for each division. So someone had to be really smart about how they were racing it, and really pacing themselves well. And the racers loved the organizers and just the passion that they were putting into the event. They could really sense that. They could really sense that the community was excited to see them. excited to watch them come to the finish line and like talk to them after the race and see how it was going. They could really sense the support from the sponsors as well, and it just really comes together quite well. And the racers can really appreciate that and see all the hard work that's going into the event.
That's awesome. So I do need to clarify for some people that when he says that challenging but not too challenging, that is relative. There are some of us that even the fun ride is challenging. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for your comments and for being part of this and continuing that relationship. It's great. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no, we're very excited about it. As long as the organizers want us to be coming down here, we're more than happy to keep working on it and keep growing the partnership and bringing more people down to a very part of the state.
Awesome. All right. Now we've got the man behind it all, right?
No, no, the man that was drug in front of it, I guess.
So how have you been on the board all 11 of them? This is Tony Hartle, of course, on the board of Circles of Peace.
The first two I would volunteer out on one of the safety stops, and Mary Helen Maynard, who was one of the founders of Circles and also of this race, tricked me the third year and said, "Hey, we're having this organization meeting for all the volunteers. Why don't you come?" And I showed up, and there weren't any volunteers. They were organizers, and they said, "You're now in charge of the organizers." So it's been 9 years, 9 years that I've been part of the organization committee, and my role on that is on-course safety. The safety stops out throughout the course, and following each of the rides, we have a pickup truck following each of the rides. So if anything is happening out there, or if a rider breaks down, we can pick them up, put them in, take them to the next aid station.
And you drive this truck, don't you? Often, sometimes.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I don't follow. I follow at the end of the race. I follow the last rider in, and I've only seen the end of the race once. Because some of these guys, as George says, it's not too challenging, except you get people that come down from Phoenix and say, "Oh, I can do 87 miles. That's a piece of cake." Until they hit the hills going in and out of Patagonia, and then it used to be up and down Pendleton Road too, and they said, "Oh God, this is too tough." But they would finish. We had one gal finished at 5 o'clock. She started at 7 and finished at 5 o'clock.
Wow.
She was going to finish the race, so I followed him all the way in.
That's awesome. That's very awesome. And again, so not only is he a board member, but he volunteers his time for the duration plus of the entire event. So let's give a round of applause for Tony Bartolo.
I would like to thank all of our sponsors, our partners, the city of Nogales, Santa Cruz County, Mariposa, South 32, the Mexican Consulate, Zero Stress, and Joy at USA Cycling. Joy at USA Cycling, when he came on last year, proved to be a bit of a challenge, and we had to change our route because they were going to double the size of our race, and you can't have 500 riders going up and down Pendleton Road.
Oh, yeah.
Both directions. That was very dangerous. So now we switched it. We took the longer rides out to Sonoyta and back. This year we have another challenge. The Sky Festival, the Sky Mountain Festival in Patagonia, which is bringing thousands of people to Patagonia in the traffic. So we had to bump up these longer rides an hour to try and get them through before the major traffic happened. So that's a big concern of ours, and we have two additional sheriff's department and two additional DPS patrolling between Sonoyta and Nogales up and down that highway to make sure that drivers on there maintain speed and know that there's stuff out there. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything will go right and we'll get everybody through Patagonia before the major things happen.
Awesome. You did just answer half the questions I was going to ask Chief Jimenez, but that's okay.
Well, Nogales, they got a whole different set with coming down Morley Avenue, and I'll let him do that. But
Right.
once they get out onto 82 and into Santa Cruz County, then it's the sheriff's office and DPS that are controlling those, and we are very grateful that they've given us additional manpower this year to help patrol those areas and keep everybody safe. So
Of course.
we're looking for a very safe fun ride.
Which is actually, it's important to highlight that this is not just it is the Nogales Bicycle Classic, but this is not just a city of Nogales effort. This is countywide. I mean, the race stretches all the way across the county, and it's important to keep everybody safe.
And I forgot to mention, I want to thank all of the Rotary clubs in Santa Cruz County, the Mountain Empire Rotary Club, the Nogales Rotary Club, the Rio Rico Rotary Club, and the Tubac Rotary Club. Each one of those clubs are manning one of the safety stops along the way. So it's, and I'm a member of the Rio Rico Rotary Club, and we say this is not a Rotary event, but it's a Rotary participation. And I want to thank all the clubs and for helping out that every year, the Nogales Santa's part of the Nogales Club, and every year they're out there. And so it's an awesome event. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else that Tony forgot to thank? I mean, I'm not sure that there's anybody in the world Tony forgot to thank.
Our staff.
Of course, of course.
These gals have been working nonstop for weeks and weeks to get this done, to get all the stuff organized, to get everything, all the banners made, and all the T-shirts made, everybody lined up, going and knocking on doors and saying, hey, "Can you help? Can you help?" So the staff has done a tremendous job, and can't appreciate them anymore.
All right. So, of course, this event is not just a collaborative effort with government agencies and things like that. This is a coordinated and collaborated event with lots of local businesses and agencies, and South 32 being one of the presenting sponsor for the event. And we've got Sandra Moraga
Joe,
here.
you know, never give the mic to Sandra. She speaks a lot. I'd like to start by thanking again everybody that took, a part of this event. I witnessed firsthand for the first time the countless hours that everybody invested and the passion. It's not. This takes months to organize, and so again, amazing group of people that I had the pleasure to working with. And tomorrow is going to be beautiful. If people are in the community, so I'll just invite them now to join us because it's going to be a beautiful day to come see all those riders. And I hope all of us or some of us have registered to be in the bike tomorrow, right? So Blanca, I want to thank you for opening your doors to me, representing South 32. And for those that are not familiar with South 32, it's a global mining and minerals company. Uh, South 32 acquired the Hermosa project about 5 years ago, and it's sponsored the Nogales Bicycle Classic for 3 years now, I believe, right? And so again, it's great to be here. And as we all know, the Hermosa project it's that has the potential of producing two critical minerals that are manganese and zinc, and those are going to be empowering the nation's clean energy future, right? So I know I want an electrical vehicle in the future. I don't know about you, but so again, to Circle to Peace, we want to thank you for the opportunity for empowering women in the community, families that go through difficult times and challenging times. You know, we're all exposed to things, and so you're there. Thank you for that. Our values, which are trust, togetherness, um, care, all those align with your mission. And so we hope to continue to collaborate with all of you, not just Circles of Peace, but everybody in the community in future events and years to come. Let's make this a tradition for generations to come.
All right. Before you pass the mic, so as a local, obviously, these types of events are great. How to you personally? How does this seeing all this come together and has seen all these people come in? How does that feel?
Well, I will admit I've never ridden the race. Okay,
Yo tampoco.
I regret it. I regret it because I think it's a good opportunity, first of all, to promote wellness. I have been part of it just as a member, as a community, and it's an amazing thing because even if you're not riding, just to come see all the people that take part of it, the vendors, just we have to support them. We have to support the event because the mission it's amazing to empower again those families. It's great. As a community member, I'm just proud of everybody, and I'm proud of just being part of this great thing that makes a difference in the community.
Absolutely. All right. Well, moving on. So I need to personally thank Blanca because she gives me an excuse one day a year, like a real legitimate excuse not to ride a bike. So thank you for that.
No, thank you. Thank you, everyone, who is here with us this afternoon. I have no words to say thanks to everyone because, as you can see here, we're representing the community, who we are, who we really are. And I think when we are in need, we all come together and we support each other. So this is what I'm seeing here in this table, is the support that each agency has offered to Circles of Peace. I have no words to say thank you to everyone. And of course, I'll presenting a sponsor, Mariposa, who for the first time in many years, we're having a medical station at the start finish line, well, inside circles. But we're having that thanks to Mariposa because they're providing nurses, doctors in case of any emergency. The city of Nogales, of course, Mayor Maldonado is always supporting Circles of Peace, the families that we serve, MPD, Nogales Police Department, taking care of safety, consulado, un buen amigo, siempre juntos, ayudándonos en todo. Entonces, I think as well, Pedro Estrella, and Tony Bartola, with the many hats that he wears, he's always, taking care of us, taking care of Circles. And tell them, what is the mission for this? What is the purpose for this event? Is to provide those funds to continue the work that we do in the community. I think the families that we serve is the same families of Mariposa and City of Nogales and Ceres serve. So I think they deserve to continue getting the benefits of what we do in the community, what Circus of Peace has to offer. So estoy muy contenta, muy orgullosa del trabajo que hemos hecho por 11 años y pues qué más puedo decir. Thank you and another year, 11 years. So thank you so much.
Of course. So wait, Blanca, todavía no, todavía no, todavía no, todavía no. So it's a little bit different this year, right? There are a few changes. I mean, every year there's a little bit of changes, but this one it's kind of flipped around just a little bit. So do you want to talk about the changes? And something that we have never talked about really on the press panel was la fiesta. Siempre hay fiesta. So let's talk about what's the changes that are happening this year and the party at the end.
There's not as many changes. I think we have the same route, same races. We continue with USA partnership. They have, I don't know how many riders do you think, Joey? 100 maybe? Like 100 riders, professional riders going into the USA race, I would say. For the tres, I know that group is bigger this year. It's más grande el grupo de ustedes tres. Lo que es bueno. I think the chances are because, as Tony explained, we have many events happening in the community, so we needed to reinforce the safety, law enforcement, and now having this manifestation in, in the start finish line. So
Refiero específicamente a la ceremonia.
la ceremonia, award ceremony.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen. The opening is at 11:30, and the award ceremony is gonna start at noon, from noon to 2 p.m. So
Okay.
that's the only change.
And la fiesta.
And the first ride is gonna start at 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m.
Yes, the 80,
Early.
84.9 at 7 a.m.
I was just told that there's no wind tomorrow, so there's no wind tomorrow, so that's good for riders. I believe I'm a
So
rider.
good for the tents.
Okay,
It's really good for the
but it's gonna be an eclipse. Not bad. We're gonna be fine.
Okay, y la fiesta empieza a las
The fiesta starts at 9
at
a.m.
9. Okay.
So
And
music, vendors, food. What else, Claudia? I know you're behind. Vendors, food, music. So just come, enjoy the fiesta.
okay,
Okay.
muy bien. Ok, tenemos Diana Pacheco de la oficina del consulado. Si usted gustaría, pues son parte de los sponsors, ¿no? Uno de los sponsors patrocinadores y organizadores del evento, ¿verdad? ¿Qué significa, perdón, este evento al consulado? Como que es básicamente binacional, ¿no? Porque hay corredores de México que vienen y participan en ese evento, siempre han participado. ¿Qué significa ese evento para ambos Nogales, para el estado de Sonora, para el estado de Arizona, para las relaciones que tenemos?
Claro que sí, muchas gracias. ¿Me escuchan bien? Sí. Gracias por la invitación. Bueno, primero que nada, pues la diplomacia deportiva para México es muy importante, ¿no? En este sentido, unir a dos naciones a través del deporte, pues es justamente la misión que tiene prioritaria el consulado, pero sobre todo va más allá también del deporte, ¿no? Sino de esta oportunidad de convivir sin importar nacionalidades, ideologías, simplemente por el gusto de hacer deporte. En este caso, llega en un momento muy importante, ¿no? En donde justamente se quieren estrechar aún más los lazos entre ambas comunidades y también, sobre todo, empoderar a la comunidad mexicana y, sobre todo, como mujer también lo digo, el empoderamiento de la mujer, ¿no? Entonces, para el consulado justamente ha sido vital poder participar con círculos de paz y sobre todo, como algunos de aquí ya he tenido el placer de conocer, a otros apenas los conocí hoy, tiene poco que llegué aquí a Nogales, pero saber la misión y el propósito de la carrera de mañana es una acción que me conmovió bastante justamente para promover y estrechar lazos entre la comunidad. Entonces, felicidades, la verdad considero que es un evento muy bonito, con una causa muy profunda, pero también con unos alcances que van más allá de las fronteras de cualquier nación. Entonces, muchas felicidades también.
Muchísimas gracias y bienvenidos aquí a nuestro pueblo.
Muchas gracias.
All right, Chief Carlos Jimenez, how's it going?
Good. How's everybody doing?
All right, so I know that, Tony talked a lot about the safety and security, of course, beyond the borders of the city of Nogales. But I know that there's a lot of work that the city of Nogales, that PD, puts into making sure that these riders are safe and any participants. Can you speak to that a little bit and what efforts are taken to ensure the safety and security of the public?
Sure. First, I want to say thank you for the invitation to participate in this great event, Circles of Peace. I know since the inception of this race, 11 years ago, City of Nogales, and I know the mayor will touch a little bit on that, but the Nogales Police Department has been committed to provide the safety for not only the riders, but all the volunteers and participants. I know that the locations and challenges has changed over the years, but we're committed to the safety. The officers are going to be here at 5 in the morning, and we'll be here until the event is completed and done. I can't speak too much about what's going on in the outside our jurisdiction in the county, but I know that they have the same intentions of make sure that the riders are safe. Our officers are going to be assigned to certain areas of the street that the riders are going to be, riding through. Key intersections, making sure that they take off, get back safely. In case there's any issues, then they quickly address them, some medical assistance as needed, and address any concerns that would come up. So, like I said, we're committed, and we're making sure that this event is a safe and fun one because the meaning behind it makes a lot of sense to us, and we're here to support it 100%.
And I imagine that the planning on the part of the MPD is extensive when it comes to this event. I mean, it's not just about deploying officers to react. It's about planning to ensure that situations don't arise or that there is somebody nearby and available.
Yes, one of our officers has been present at some of the meetings that have occurred prior to this event, and like you mentioned earlier, it takes a few months of preparation, and we do also forecast what could happen, how we can address it, and how obviously maybe not eliminate it as possible. Luckily, the route itself doesn't have the big challenges that prior routes had in the past. So we were in major thoroughfares, but it's still a fun ride for them, and I'm glad, like mentioned, it's a challenge, and but we're there to make sure that nothing happens. I mean, we can't to be completely problem free, but anything that could occur, we prepared for it and making sure that if it does occur, it doesn't become something bigger where it actually interrupts the race itself, and make sure that the riders can make their way through it safely, as well as the participants, as the volunteers or the spectators.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we also have with us Mayor George Maldonado. Thank you. Thank you for being here and welcome. So this is not just a big event for Circles of Peace or all the participants. This is a major event for the city of Nogales. It brings tourism. The riders that come, they go eat places. Often they stay here in hotels. So it's a big revenue stream for the city of Nogales at this time of year. What does the city of Nogales do to prepare for this, and what does this event mean truly to the city of Nogales?
First of all, I want to thank everybody for bringing this event to the city. All the participants, thank you for your support. For the city, it's what we want. We want to have events. We want to have collaboration. Look at how many uh, organizations are involved. There's collaboration with people from outside 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 the state. It's something for our locals to participate in. It's not a hard work. I could see that. As for the city, we could only support. You know, uh, Security with the PD, the routes and all that. I actually, requested the street cleaning of the route, so hopefully it's to their needs. I know we saw the sweeper 2, 3 times this week and a couple of times last week. So it's safety. But having people come into the community and staying here and eating here and gassing up here, all that is obviously funding for this community, and it's something fun. It's something athletic that comes into the city. So it's just a win-win situation for everybody. Again, all the sponsors and everybody, thank you for collaborating with Circle of Peace. Circle of Peace, thank you for the hard work you do, Blanca, and everybody told me, Melissa, everybody makes makes this job easier and makes it a lot smoother when we all get together and make it flow in a good, safe, easy way. But thank you, for doing this press release. It tells others, hey, get involved, bring it on. We want more events. Let's try to help each other. Do these types of events. If it's bicycles, if it's horses, if it's running, anything. With the consulado, we've been talking about more sports, more sports. I just had some meetings up in Phoenix with partnerships with other cities about bringing baseball, softball, basketball sports. So whatever it is, let's all work together. Not taking nothing against bicycling. Bicycling is a great sport, and I think the promoting of this event has been tremendous. I think we expect probably a record crowd this time around, and hopefully it gets bigger. Because in all, I think we all need more events like this to enjoy them and come out and relax. Tomorrow it's going to be a beautiful day, so let's all have fun. And thank you for again inviting me to this press conference.
All right, no, before you pass it on, we got a few more things that I want to talk about. I not getting off that easy. No, so first off, actually, we don't have a representative of the fire department here, but I do believe that the fire department deserves a round of applause because they do so much to keep the riders and observers safe. So let's go ahead and give a round of applause to the Nogales Fire Department. Also, there's going to be an eclipse tomorrow, which is cool. You guys are aware of this, right? There's going to be an eclipse tomorrow. Does everybody have their eclipse glasses? I mean, this does serve a double purpose. The aforementioned whiteness of my legs is enough to use these glasses. But I would recommend that no riders put on glasses to look at the eclipse while they're riding. But if you are going to come out, make sure that you bring those sunglasses so that the paramedics don't have to treat you for burns on your eyes immediately. If you're going to look at the sun, wear the glasses. Otherwise, keep your eyes on the riders. All right. So speaking of health, all right, let's move on to Mariposa. We've got Dan Provost from Prevo from Mariposa and Patty Molina also from Mariposa Community Health Center. So I was unaware that you guys are going to have an actual, essentially a triage clinic, is what I understand, here in the Circles of Peace building during the race. So how did that happen? What steps were taken to make that? And was there a need that led up to that?
So thank you for having us to speak. We're really happy to be part of the bike race once again this year. We're huge supporters. Uh, we're humbled by all the work that everybody has put in to make this happen, and just the coordinated effort is truly amazing. Um, this is the first year that we're going to have medical staff on site. We're going to have a medical doctor. We're going to have nursing staff. They are bringing, Mariposa supplies here to, address hydration, to do triage. Do you need to rest? Do you cool off because you're overheated? Do we need to send you to a higher level of care? Is it something we can manage here? And the feedback that we heard from Circles of Peace and other organizers was, sort of the most critical health part of the race tended to be at the very end. People are pushing themselves to get over the finish line, complete the race, and that can lead to levels of exhaustion, dehydration, other health symptoms. Um, and they approached us and said, "Hey, could we have some medical staff there at the end of the race?" And we had a series of meetings. Our answer was, "Yeah, we really want to support that." But it took some planning, some collaboration, figure out actually what we need, what some common symptoms are, which I alluded to a few already. But I think it's important to note that the staff has done a lot of planning and preparation in collaboration with the team in order to be here and be prepared. I also want to note that the staff are volunteering their time to be here, right? Which
That's
is
worthy of a
just
round of applause for sure.
a huge, a huge testament to the people who work for Mariposa. They're not just committed to the health of the people who walk through our doors and come and have visits. They're committed to the health of the entire community, and that's our mission as a health center. And Patty will go on and share. Her department is dedicated entirely to the health of of all of the people who live in Santa Cruz County, and it's our mission to keep people healthy. And events like this keep people healthy, physically and mentally, right? There's a strong connection that's been, proven between physical health and mental health, and the exercise that this promotes and provides and inspires people to participate in is good for the health of the community overall. And we're really honored to be a part of it and continue to to support it in the future in whatever ways we're asked. We'll do whatever we can to support it. We believe in the health of the entire community, and the visitors to our community. Our staff are going to be here to support all the riders, all the volunteers, anybody who needs our support. So very happy to be a part of it. And unless you have any other questions, I'll turn it over to Patty for some extra detail.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Patty, I understand this is your 11th time that you're entering the race, and you do plan on taking home first place in the 80 mile again. Is that correct?
I do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Of course, yes.
Yeah. And I'm prepared, as I have been every year, to make sure I have my blinding sunglasses for the white lace.
Absolutely.
I've learned my lesson over the years.
All right. So if you can speak more to what went into building this clinic, to those staff members who are volunteering their time, and what it's going to take. I mean, Mariposa's efforts with this event as a sponsor, as a coordinator, a collaborator, and what it means to the community as a local.
Right. No. So in reality, for us at Mariposa, we've been collaborating with this event, the Nogales Bicycle Classic and Circles of Peace, for many years now. We're always happy to sponsor the event and be a part of the event. We truly value the partnerships that we have, not just with Circles of Peace, but everyone in the community. And so that is really important to us. The fact that we're having the station this year just kind of really comes to that point where it's a needed thing to have as the race has continued to grow over the years. And really, what we want to emphasize is the importance of the fact, like Dan was saying, and what this does for, for people's health in reality overall is cero stress. I mean, that's the whole purpose of cero stress, right? And cycling and what that brings to everyone. So truly just focusing on everybody's well-being for tomorrow, making sure that everybody stays healthy and making sure that everybody's hydrated, which is really important. And then, of course, having fun. So, but bringing the station here is just available in case of anything that happens, that we have professionals on standing by to be able to help. And as Dan said, if it takes a little bit more than what we can triage here, we make sure that we have that available.
Awesome. Very cool. So before we wrap up, I was wondering if you could pass the mic over to Blanca again. And then, of course, Tony. Of course, Tony's not done. Okay, so Blanca, otra vez. The importance of these collaborations to the community, not just to the event, but to the community. Um, can you speak to what that means on a larger scale beyond this event? I mean, building those types of relationships for the work that Circles of Peace does, which is very important, and what this event means for that work throughout the entire year.
So I'm going to say it in Spanish now.
Muy
So
bien.
this is who we are as community. So la colaboración en círculos de paz es muy importante. Para nosotros, sin esos colaboradores no podríamos existir. No podemos estar solos, aislados en una comunidad. Necesitamos juntarnos como comunidad, come together as a community, para proveer un mejor servicio a nuestra comunidad. So, no lo podemos hacer solo y obviamente creamos comunidad. Estamos creando la comunidad que queremos ver. Para nosotros recibir este apoyo, no solamente de trabajo, pero en los fondos que recibimos, es poder solventar nuestros gastos por un año más. Ese es el propósito de este evento, es poder ayudar a todo lo que nosotros tenemos que invertir en nuestro staff, en las instalaciones, para poder seguir sirviendo a esta comunidad. Yo creo que, I think in that long term, having this collaboration and this partnership is to continue being part of this community, so as circle, continue being here in the community. It's a fundraiser, so for us it's very important. All the funds that we collect, as you know, is to help the victims of domestic violence and to continue doing the prevention work that we do to prevent substance abuse use in our community.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it is important to remember we don't talk about this much because we focus a lot on the race itself. But what the race represents, what this race is for, is vital to this community and to the well-being, the overall well-being of this community. Now, of course,
You asked earlier, who didn't I thank? And I forgot one very important person, and that is Frank Granados with the Rio Rico Fire District. He is the main person behind getting all of the law enforcement, the sheriff, the DPS, the signs all out on the highway, working with the county on getting roads patched and brush cut back. Without Frank, this would be a very difficult situation. And emergency, oh yeah, emergency management, who fortunately will be tied up with something else on that day. But between those two, getting all of the things behind the scenes, without them, without those two, this would have been a very difficult and task for us regular people.
one more round of applause for that, then of course. So I do have a couple more questions for a couple more panel members. I wanted to go back to Joey for just a second, if that's okay. So, as somebody who participates in cycling events and the organization, the sport in general, cycling across the state, across the country as well, I mean, what is when things like this happen in rural areas like we have here, is there a noticeable impact that you see as an outside observer?
Yeah, I mean, we know from collecting like participant data and surveys and stuff that like riders love coming to new areas that they haven't been riding in before, and we also know that it has a big economic impact on rural communities. Um, typically riders are spending anywhere between $200 and $300 each individually as they're coming in. That's on food, on lodging, on gas, on just buying souvenirs, things like that. So we know that hosting these events can have a really big impact on the communities that come together to put these on. And I'd like to say I wish I could like clone the organizing team and put you in like Phoenix and bike staff and other places, because like if every event was this well organized, I think we'd have one of the largest participations probably in the country, because it's such a well organized event and everything goes so smoothly compared to some of the other events that um, even that I put on. It's very 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 well done.
All right, well, let's give a round of applause for the team then, of course, for the team that goes into putting this, the team of Circles of Peace, incredible work they do. So last year, I don't remember if we had the conversation on the panel or if it was on the side, but we talked about the impact that COVID had on cycling. Now, have you seen a long-term impact, or has that sort of tapered off?
I'd say a lot of people are still participating in some form or fashion. Bike sales spiked early on in the pandemic, and they remained high for the first like year and a half of that. That's obviously trailed off a little bit, but the people that purchase those bikes are still using them in some form or fashion. Whether or not they're doing organized races is a little bit harder to track, but there's still a lot more people out riding on trails, on separate paths, and just getting out and being more active. And so I think events like this that offer both you know the tour and the racing format gives people kind of that stepping stone. Or like, I ride casually, so maybe I want to try something else. I'll try the 40 just fun ride, and then next year they come back and they try the 60-mile race because they've had such a good time.
So I wanted to note that he referred to the 40-mile ride as the fun ride. No, and I'm sure it is very fun for certain people. So thank you again so much for coming down, for participating in this event with us, and working with this incredible team to make this the state championships, which is I think another very important thing that we need to highlight.
Yeah, like I said, it's the state championships for the road race discipline. So those are the longer events, the 40, 60, 80 miles and stuff. So, the the first riders across the line in each of the different age categories are, crowned the champion for the following year. They get to purchase a special jersey and they can wear that in races all next year. Um, and so it's the last state championship that we have on the road side in our state. So it's kind of like the crowning achievement for people for the year. The other formats take place in March and April and earlier on in the spring and stuff, and then we give people time to train throughout the summer so they can be in good shape for the longer distances.
If you're training through the summer for a race, then you're dedicated through an Arizona summer. So for those who might be interested, who might be watching and might be interested in participating either this year or next year, what does it take to register? What is the process like to qualify?
Yeah, so if you're not doing the race format, if you're just doing the 80, 60, 40, the 20-mile, just the ride, the tours, then you can just sign up on the registration page once the organizing committee has it posted and stuff. And it's only, I think it's like $50 or something like that. It might vary based on the distance. And then if you want to do it for the race format, then you can purchase your membership at usacycling.org. It's $110 for the year, which sounds like a lot, but what that does is it gets you entry or gives you access to all of the races that we put on throughout the entire state for the following year as well. So, if you want to come up and do the Tucson Bicycle Classic in March, or you want to do the Valley of the Sun stage race in Phoenix, or you want to do the races that the University of Arizona hosts in the San Manuel and Oracle area, then you have the access and ability to sign up for those events. It also comes with all kinds of insurance benefits, and so that way, if you do get hurt while you're on the bike or racing and stuff, that can supplement some of your insurance and stuff because crashes happen. We don't want them to happen, but if they do, the insurance is there to help protect you, and so you're not paying for all this out of pocket.
Awesome. And are there levels? Is there? I mean, is this something a casual rider can
Yeah,
enter?
absolutely. So typically what we see are the different ability categories. You start off as a novice or it's the beginner categories, Cat 5. You can do up to 10 races in that category and you can upgrade to category 4, which is kind of like your intermediate. And then based on how you do in finishes, either in races like this or in other races, which are called criteriums, which is essentially NASCAR on bikes, so go fast and turn left. Based on how you finish in those events, if you finish in the top 3 or 5, you get upgrade points. And those points, once you get 20, you can move to category 3. Get 25, you move to 2, and then you go to category 1, which is the professional level. And then after that, you can go race the bigger international races in Canada, Mexico, stuff like that.
That's incredible. So I mean, it's not only just accessible and worth it, it seems, but even you can start at the bottom and build your way up. And it
Yeah,
gives you the opportunity to do that.
yeah, totally. And it's also there's for people that once you get over the age of 35, you can race the age graded categories. So you can just race against your peers in the same age categories. If you want to race against people that are 35 to like 44, there's that grouping. There's 45 to 54, et cetera, et cetera. So that way you can either race against your ability, your peers in terms of like speed with the categories, or you can race against your peers in terms of age.
So it has more to do with the knees than anything else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. We appreciate you coming out here.
Yeah, no, we're super excited to be here again, and we're looking forward to 2024.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for being out here and answering my questions and putting up with my jokes. I mean, so I appreciate that always. I want to thank the audience that's watching and the audience that's here. And I hope that all of you that are watching right now can make it out tomorrow. If you're not participating in the race, again, there will be fun, there will be music, there will be vendors, food, and of course, I'll be there, and that is reason enough. You know. So, thank you. You are all first place in my heart. Round of applause. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.